Well, good viewers and listeners in, I've been putting off this sniper guide for the better part of a year, and to be honest, I still didn't even get to it. But lucky for me, my buddy Pablo and his wingman Joker put their heads together and wrote the guide for me. Will old Cyril be able to interpret an expert sniper guide in spite of being a sniping noob? Well, let's dive right in and find out! Post haste! First of all, if you're playing on PC, Sniper is a perfect class because of the more precise aiming with a mouse. I can speak from first-hand experience since I'm a recent PC convert that headshots are much easier to pull off. Positioning is key for a sniper. Post up somewhere that allows you to have the longest line of sight possible, ideally targeting the route where enemies will be coming directly towards you, as it's more difficult to hit laterally moving enemies. If the map allows for it, find a good spot on higher ground. Make sure your sniper's nest does not make you vulnerable from behind or allow an enemy to flank you. Ideally, have the engineer set up the defenses where it'll be most effective to cover your back. Use the long shot for long range and the Marksa or M-bar for medium range shots. Swap out your snub for a bolt hawk in case you get caught in a close encounter, but don't be afraid to run away like a little bitch. It's a perfectly viable strategy for snipers. Don't panic or tense up when shooting. Allow yourself to be relaxed. The calmer you are, the easier it is to get headshots. I recommend going to a good Asian massage parlor before playing as a sniper. And don't rush your shots either. Wait for what you feel is the right moment to fire. It's easy to burn through all of your ammo, especially on the later waves, so have the engineer build you your own personal weapons locker. Focus on taking out the bigger enemies first. Spend some time observing your targets and try to predict their movements. Boomshot scions sway from side to side when they move, for example. And know your limitations. The flying sentinels are your worst enemy because of the sniper's slow fire rate and their quickly recharging shields. When they spawn, their shields are inactive for a couple of seconds. This is the only time you should bother engaging them. Otherwise, leave them for the heavier soldier class. Now, on to the skill cards, starting with my favorite, Cold Shot. Targets you mark take up to 40% more damage from all sources, including your teammates. Always prioritize marking bosses and bigger enemies first. You can also mark a target while using a turret. This card pairs perfectly with Marked Boost and several other cards, which I'll get to in a moment. Headshot Damage. This card allows you to do increased headshot damage with any weapon you have equipped, not just the precision rifles, meaning the Lancer, Hammer Burst, and even the Bolt Hawk are viable backup weapons for a sniper, especially when also paired with Cold Shot. It's good practice to stash a regular rifle in a weapons locker and switch it in for one of your precision rifles whenever the enemies get a little too close for comfort. Just make sure you aim for the head to get the added bonus damage. Oh, and this card doesn't apply to headshots on a turret. What the hell is that thing? Somebody order the frog's legs! Precision Rifle Damage. This card allows you to do both increased body and headshot damage, up to 60% more damage at the max level card. And it stacks with other damage cards as well, like headshot damage and Cold Shot. Explosive Headshots. At level 3 and above, this card can be very effective at damaging nearby enemies with its splash damage. The range of the splash depends on the level of the card. If you have this one equipped, spend some time looking for groups of enemies and try to take them all out with one nice shot. Marked Boost. This allows you to mark up to 7 enemies at once. This is a good card to equip if you've got a heavy on your team equipped with mark damage. especially if you're also running Cold Shot. If you're using both those cards, you should play as more of a support role, marking all the bigger enemies for your teammates first before you start finding your own targets. This card is also handy for keeping track of any marked enemies that go out of the map. Precision Rifle Reload is a good card to use if you like using the long shot, as it doubles its fire rate. The reload speed depends on what level the card is at. Go away! Leave me alone! I'm just trying to make a video! Radar Ping. When this is activated, it'll mark all the enemies on the map. It doesn't seem to ever expire either, unlike a regular mark. It's really only effective if paired with Cold Shot and the Saber Strike on higher difficulties. Otherwise, you're better off using different cards. Precision Rifle Capacity gives you up to 120% additional ammo. Very useful if you like using the M bar, as it'll allow you to complete a wave without running out of ammo. Magic Bullet. If you're using the Marxa, this card is a must. Your critical hits penetrate through enemies and increase the damage of your next shot. This is also very effective on higher difficulties when paired with the Saber Strike. Steady Shot is a must-have for the higher difficulties. When scoped, you take less damage and camera shake is reduced. It's essential if you mainly like to use the long shot. I would switch Magic Bullet out for this card if I were playing on Insane or Inconceivable. I would also use this card on Hardcore if I was using Mark Boost with Cold Shot. Ideally, you would want this card at level 5 or 6 for the 55% damage reduction and 90% camera shake reduction. And finally, one of the most underrated cards in the game, Saber Strike. At the low cost of 5,000 power, this is a very efficient and effective card on all enemies bar the bosses. The number of critical hits a strike can do depends on the level of the card. Level 5 hits up to 7 targets. Cards that are most effective if using Saber Strike are Headshot Damage, Precision Rifle Damage, Explosive Headshot, and Magic Bullet. Magic Bullet is very effective on the harder difficulties as the damage stacks up per critical hit, up to an extra 315% damage with a level 5 card. Plus, you're guaranteed to get the multiplier as the strike never misses. Using this card also levels up the Fabricator, so it has that added benefit as well. As a bonus tip on the Saber Strike, it can be used to help level up your class faster. If you have this card at level 3 or above, go into a private lobby by yourself and set up the Fabricator where you have good cover. Kill all the enemies using the Saber Strike only. For example, if you equip this card and the other cards I mentioned before, and they're all at least level 4 or 5, you can clear wave 49 on Inconceivable. This will earn you up to 8,000 XP and 74 credits per wave in under 2 minutes. And that's it! Once again, I'd like to recognize Pablo and Joker for their contributions to this guide. So if you want to thank somebody, thank them, because this was mostly their ideas. Till next time, fare thee well, f***ers! If you enjoyed the video, please leave a comment and a like. It helps us get more exposure on the YouTubes. And while you're at it, why not subscribe? We put out shit like this every week.